Okay, well, as you guys know, I've been really sick lately. Well, not like really sick, but I've been sick lately. That's why I've been at school for the past 2 days. And, this kind of goes with the subject of what I'm about to talk about. Doctors and doctors' offices. Okay, doctors are really, really, really creepy, okay? And, like, I had this doctor this one time, and he was Indian, and I was having, like, this physical, and he was, like, checking out my vagina, and, like, because when I was really little, I used to get bladder infections a lot, which is really gross, but I did. And then so he was checking that out, and he was Indian, and it was a dude, so it was really awkward. And yeah, it was just weird. He was all like, "I'm going to check da 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 da." I don't know what he said, but like, this is how he talked. He talked like an Indian, and I was like, "What?" I just wanted him to be like, "Hello, my name is Apu. Welcome to Quickie Mart," but he didn't say that. And then today, when I went to the doctor, I had this like little black lady, and I was like, oh, okay, she's kind of nice, but no, she started getting really weird. Okay, so tell me why whenever I talk to this lady, it would go and I was like, are you even like listening to me? I don't think you are. And then like my grandma is really weird, and she like creeped the fuck out of this lady today because she was all like, ew, my hair's fucked up. Anyway, she like creeped this lady out because my grandma decides to go to this lady that she's never met before, just my doctor lady, and was like, "You're cute. I like you." And I was like, "Grandma, oh my god!" And like this black lady was just like, "Thanks." And like everyone that went into this office, this lady was like, "Oh, you have a cold. Oh, you have a cold." And then I went back in there to talk to her, and she was like, "Let me check something real quick." So she like looks up in my nose and my ears and my throat and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, you have a sinus infection." And I'm like, "You said I have a cold." And she was like, "Oh, no, it's a sinus infection." And I was like, "Oh, awesome." But they caught it early, so it's gonna be gone by like the weekend, I guess, like uh soon. Oh, anyway, but yeah. And like the thing that I don't like about doctors' offices is how they have all the chairs set up to where everyone's staring at each other. And like you try not to stare at anyone, but it's really hard when like there's like a little black girl directly staring at you. Tell me why this little girl with like cornrows and shit was just like this to me for like 5 minutes. And I tried avoiding like looking at her, like making eye contact. I was like, maybe if I don't look at her, she won't look at me. But she kept staring. And then all of a sudden she points like her mom's phone at me, and I hear that little camera sound that's like or whatever. And I was like, this little bitch is taking pictures of me. What the fuck? And like she just kept looking at me. And eventually I told her, I was like, I like your hat, and she was like she didn't know that I knew that she was staring at me, but I did. And then she kept staring, so I just looked at her, I was like, stop staring at me. And she was just like, and then kept staring. Like, oh my god, I was like, this little black girl's gonna get punched in the face. I don't care if she's like 7. And then I started talking to her mom, because her mom was like nice and stuff. And this little black girl was like barely, like, okay, I'm not very tall at all. Like, this tall. This little black girl was like right here on me. And I asked her mom, I was like, how old is she? And you know what her mom tells me? This girl's 5. And I was like, what? And then in my mind, I didn't say it out loud, but in my mind I was like, it's because she's black. Black people are always tall. And, ew. And like, it was just really weird. You know what else is really weird? Bottle cap eyes! Okay, that was strange. But yeah, and like doctor's offices are always cold. Like, you're not cold enough, dude. You probably have a fever or something. And like, they make it like 30 degrees in there. And the people at the pharmacy are like so rude to you. Like, you're like, when is my prescription gonna be done? And they're just like, well, they don't actually make that face, that noise. But you know what I mean? Like, they sigh, and there's like, in 20 minutes. Like, okay, before I went in there was only one lady in there, and I was like next in line. And then this little black chick, the doctor or whatever, comes out, and she's all like, "It'll be 40 minutes." And I'm like, "What? What is this bitch having? A colonoscopy? Like, really? Like, why is it taking you so long? Okay, just no." And then so like, I wait my 40 minutes, and then it's like 10 minutes extra, so it's like 50 minutes, and then I go in there, and she starts asking me stuff about my period. She was like, "When was your last period?" And I was like, I don't know. She was like, "You don't measure like time or whatever. You don't count." Oh, my boob itches. And I was like, "No, there's nothing better than the casual surprise of a bloody vagina." And then she didn't get my sense of humor, and she just looked at me really weird, and I was like, "What?" And like my grandma was like, "Stop it." I was like, "Stop." But yeah, and like I called my mom when I'm on the way home, and I tell her about it, and my mom just laughs at me, and I'm like, "It's not funny. She could have been like a female pedophile, lesbian lady, and she was like checking out when my period was, so she could like rape me or something." Like, what? What? But anyways, that's why I really hate going to the doctor, and I rarely go. But my grandma kind of forced me today, so yeah, that's what I hate about the doctor, and that's what I hate about doctors, like the office and the doctor in general. I just don't like going there. I would rather go to the dentist and have like 20 teeth filled. Do we even have 20? Yeah, we have 20 teeth. And like, then go and sit in this cold, awkward office where everyone's just like, I mean, really, like, I don't know. I just don't like the doctor's office. But yeah, so I'll probably be better and be able to like not sound like an old woman when I'm taking videos now, because they put me on all kinds of medicine. My boob bitches wait. Yeah, that's what I don't like about the doctor's office. Oh, and like what I told you about the lady before me, how it took her like 40 minutes. I was eavesdropping because I could hear through the door, and I got in trouble for it from my grandma. But I like went up to the door and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna listen." This bitch is like 40 years old, and she was getting a physical for wrestling. I was like, "What?" And then like she came out, and my grandma was like, "I hope you're not super sick." And the lady was like, "No, I was getting a physical for work." And I was like, "This bitch is a wrestler. No wonder she's fat and scary." All right, well, that's what I hate about the doctor.